Welcome again. So, welcome back to Not Quite Universal Month. So, the next movie I decided to keep in the family formula. I had another movie I was going to plan on doing, but for some reason the Blu-ray just would not play, and I didn't feel like watching the DVD of it, so I passed on that. The original review was going to be The Gray, but I changed my mind. I didn't feel like popping the DVD in, so I figured we'll keep another family film going. We're going to keep another family film going since I did review a family film. This time we're taking a look at a family film based on a J. Ward property. And I'll be covering another one closer to April. And you'll probably know what the other one is, but stay tuned for that one. But for now, we're taking a look at Brendan Fraser. We're taking a look at Brendan Fraser, Sarah Jessica Parker, Alvin Molino, and Eric Idle in Dudley Do Right. Now, this is a movie that I've watched. This is my second time watching. And the second time I watched it, it's fine, I guess. The problem is with this film, and I'll get to that eventually. But yeah, I'm going to get to that eventually. But let's actually talk about Dudley Do Right. This is a film starring Brendan Fraser. This is another Brendan Fraser film coming from the heels of The Mummy, which he made in 1999. Now comes Dudley Do Right. This is a Hugh Wilson film, obviously based on J. Ward. So basically, Dudley Do Right, as we all know, he's the Royal Canadian Mountaineer. The thing is, I love the Dudley Do Right character. He's such a lovable goof. Out of all of J. Ward's characters, Dudley Do Right is personally my favorite out of all of them, because he's a complete idiot. The main problem I have with this film is the fact that they played Dudley out to be too serious. He's just too serious in the film. I don't want to hate Brendan Fraser, but the problem is, I think he was miscast in this film. That's another thing. I do love the narrator. There are some good things and there are some bad things. Although I did enjoy it, I'm going to still say I'm still going to recommend it. But there are a lot of things I didn't like. Let's talk about the good things and we'll get to the bad things. The positives and negatives. The positive I like is it's beautifully shot. The movie I think was filmed in Canada. I'm not really 100% sure. But it was filmed in Canada. I'm going to say that. Another thing I like about it is I love the Snidely Whiplash character. Alfred Molino is great. I think he was the best choice to play Snidely Whiplash. I get a kick watching him every time. He's just such an idiot. He plays it more of a goof in this. Sarah Jessica Parker is great as Nell, although I didn't like her as Nell. Again, the one thing I did like in the film is, near the beginning of the film, this is mid through the film, we're introduced to a prospector named Kim J. Darling. I just love that name. That's just such a good name. Eric Idle is great, though. He sort of becomes Dudley's mentor. In the film, he finds all the gold and he basically becomes rich. Basically, he is Dudley's mentor. Oh, by the way, I was watching the film in widescreen, if you're curious what format I watched it. There's an option to watch it in widescreen or full screen. I watched it in widescreen, and I will say the widescreen looked pretty good. But a lot of these early titles, I'd probably say Decision. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is, before the film begins, we get a brand new Fractured Fairy Tale. Yeah, a brand new Fractured Fairy Tale from 1999. That's pretty cool because that's actually done by Universal Cartoon Studios. They actually did the title sequence in this. And the next film coming up, I will tell you that they also did that. But what makes this movie work is, I would say pretty much that. Oh, and back to the Fractured Fairy Tale, I thought it was pretty good. It was actually pretty good. So, if you're not a fan of the film, definitely check it out. There are actually 18 scenes in this film. Well, the chapter list shows 18, but technically there's 17 if you skip that. Now, I did not see this movie in theaters. I didn't see this in theaters, so I couldn't really say if the Fractured Fairy Tale cartoon played in theaters or was just made for the home video release, the VHS and DVD. I know when I had this recorded on pay-per-view, and I know that was on the pay-per-view. So it might have played in theaters. Again, like I said, I didn't see it in theaters, so I can't really say if it had. But in the middle of the film, we're introduced to Inspector Fenwick. Robert Prowski plays Inspector Fenwick, who obviously, if you watch Dudley Do-Right, is Nell's father, who Dudley Do-Right has a crush. Beginning of the film, he goes to a bunch of Native Americans, and they actually perform river dance. So they meet a guy named Standing Direction. Just some cheesy, classy. I just love the names in these movies. Let's think about what Jay Ward is. He comes up with these creative names for these characters. Oh, and he's the man who created Captain Crunch. Let's actually get the bad things out of the way. As I said, I didn't think Brendan Fraser was good in that role. I'm going to put this down so I'm not waving it. I don't think Brendan Fraser was the best choice to play Dudley. He plays a little too serious. Some of the in-jokes worked, but it got flat. Him hitting the wood and all that got a little too flat. The narrator was really good. He's like your ordinary narrator. He always says, meanwhile, so-and-so, or Camp Ottawa. Just the craziness with this character just really makes this movie, makes me go back and watch this. As I said, Eric Idle's good. He is the prospector. He basically becomes the sensei to Dudley and do some crazy stuff. Like I said, Alfred Molina is great. Snidely is probably the coolest thing. So, I guess that means it's time for the final verdict. Should you see Dudley Do-Right? If you haven't seen the cartoon and you want to see this movie, you'll like this movie. It's a matter of preference. If you like the character, this is worth seeing because I love Dudley Do-Right. And it's funny because Universal will greenlight another movie that comes from success. Interesting fact. Just trying to see. I was going to say, no, I don't think I see. I was going to say, was Tiffany Ward part of this? If you're not familiar with Tiffany Ward, he's Jay Ward's daughter. That's Jay Ward's daughter. I thought maybe Tiffany Ward was a producer or something on this. But I don't think. I know she produced the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. I forgot to mention. So now in terms of The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, I am going to cover that next month. We will see. I will cover that. I'm doing a wheel, so the wheel will make the decision what movie I will watch. If I watch Rocky and Bullwinkle, I will cover it. But for now, I decided to cover Dudley Do-Right, though. And it was a bomb. So it didn't make that much. In fact, Rocky and Bullwinkle made more money than Dudley Do-Right. Rocky and Bullwinkle was the box office came out to be 31.2. And Dudley Do-Right came out a shy 10 million. So it didn't do well. But like I said, I'm still recommending it. I had a good time with the movie. I'm not saying the movie's bad. It gets a little stale near the end. I thought the chase scene where he's riding the motorcycle got a little bit too sterile. But yeah. So, like I said, check the movie out. You might like it. You might get something out of it. My second time watching, I would just say I won't be going back to this for another while. But I'm glad I gave it a second watch so I can actually review for you guys. So, that's my review of Dudley Do-Right. It's late right now by the time I'm recording this. I do apologize. I almost yawned. I try not to yawn in my videos, but I'm recording this late, so yeah. And I got another video upload, so you will see this as soon as possible. So, yeah. That's Dudley Do-Right. Not much to say. like I said, although one thing before I call it a day on this video, Roger Ebert gave the movie fun, even though he didn't like the movie. He said it was fun, but he didn't like the movie. There's a written review to Ebert's written review of this. I'm trying to find the episode that had this review. But yeah, it's strange. Who knows? Like I said, check the picture out if you really want to watch a goofy comedy. That's all I have to say. Like I said again, come back next time, give a thumbs up, ring the bell, hit subscribe. Let me know what you think of Dudley Do Right. I want to know in the comments, guys. Let me know if you like Dudley Do Right. If you think it sucked, if you think it's a masterpiece, if you think it's good, decent, whatever. Check it out. And that's it for me. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.